to all attendees. Okay. Okay. Nothing yet in terms of the videos. The attendees are joining. So Audrey, can we try then something with regards to you sharing your screen in the likely event that we have to go like this? Can we just try to see if your screen can be shared?
Yeah, just let's see if it opens. Can you guys see that?
Yes, Audrey has started screen sharing, so that is actually coming up at least.
Okay, so that's working.
Yes, so now we can see that. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so yours is definitely coming up, but do you have maybe a header that can have that maybe just
Okay, the first one, what not to do.
Okay, no, that's fine. You keep that one like that. I'm just trying to figure out, but so ladies, we're gonna probably have to go exactly probably like this because I am not seeing anything, and I'm afraid it might just disconnect everything else if I try any tricks. So I might just definitely leave it like this just so that let me see. Okay. Nothing. Okay, I think we're going to just begin. I'm just going to start sharing it on Facebook. So guys, you might be just voices for now, but please just make sure that you carry on speaking as you would. Maybe if I can ask, do you have maybe your logo, Sarah? And maybe you can share that and put it there.
I don't have it on my phone, no, because I'm doing this from my phone. So the only thing I've got is a profile picture that will come up.
Okay, maybe if you can just have that so that at least there is something of you. And Karen, if you could do the same, just so that at least if the picture doesn't show, we are at least showing something that is related to you.
Yeah, absolutely no idea, I'm afraid. So I am going to have to stay as I am because I don't know what else I can do.
Okay, I understand.
I will try and do that in the background while I try and listen at the same time. Okay.
Fantastic. Okay, and we are going, let me just add a title.
We better not do something random and the video just decides to start working.
Well, you know, we need some comedy somehow, so that will definitely help.
This is why I'm here, Lebs. I'm the source of comedy.
You know? Okay. We are going live in 3, 2, 1. And we are live. Okay. All right, guys. Good morning to all of you that are watching right now from Facebook. Good morning to all our members who are also joining us right here on Zoom. It is a Thursday and we're nearly done with the month of May. And coming into June, there's a lot of things that are changing. We've heard that we're moving from, well, some areas are moving obviously from level 4 to level 3. And we also know that, you know, most of you now can maybe start going back to work. And those who are looking for jobs, well, this is the area. Our topic today is be ready to be employed. So what does it mean to being ready to be employed? What do you need to have to get ready? What is your recruiter expecting of you? Do first impressions count? What must be on your CV? You know, if you are looking for employment, this webinar is for you. My guests were with me last week on the Out of the Box Thinking webinar. So I'll introduce you to them in a few seconds. And we had such amazing feedback, right, from that webinar that we had to have another one. And this was one of the topics that we were asked to discuss. And here we are. Because they do say that employability skills, you know, are the skills and capabilities that make you more likely to gain employment and to be successful in your chosen occupation. Because this dynamic labor market, especially as what has happened with the coronavirus, you definitely will need to be the best of the best. And these skills that we'll be talking about today will definitely assist you. We are talking to the best in the business, so they know exactly what they are talking about. My name is Lebo. I'm a business and life skills coach, and what I know, I'll share a bit too on the call, but we've got experts in the field. First up, we've got a lady with nearly 30 years of working experience, and she's obtained these skills in the following industries: hotel, operations with Southern Sun and the West Cliff, recruitment with Kelly, in-staff, leaders personnel, and specialized hotel personnel. Corporate advocate as a trainer for recruitment consultants, and most recently in education. So as you can see, the lady that we have here, Adri, definitely is a master in this field. You know, working for quite a lot of recruitment agencies, she definitely knows what they're looking for. So please stay right here because she'll be sharing quite a lot. What not to do, what recruiters are looking for, and hey, what can make you stand out. Now that belongs to the next lady that I'm introducing. Her name is Sarah Gray. You know, she's well-known business professional specializing in empowerment and training education through dedicated business programs provided to her stable of clients. You know, last week we spoke a lot about, your brand, you know, making sure that your brand stands out, that your brand has longevity. And Sarah will share more about that and really delve into how can you stand out when going to look for that job. Very, very important. And then on the line, we also had a lady who joined us last week. Her name is Karen Borain. She's a training and development manager at Tsogo Hotels. I'm sure Karen deals a lot with people like that have just been hired, they've just come in, and now they really need to get into the job, which is very important because you have to put everything together from the CV, from the application of the job to the interview, and then to actually going ahead and starting on day one. So I'm going to start to just say hi to the ladies. Karen, how are you today?
I'm really great, thank you. I'm delighted to be here today and to engage with everybody. And it just, really interesting for me to see the passion that people have, obviously for themselves and also for their careers, but also for the industry on these calls. So welcoming all of you and thanking you for taking this time out to come here and learn with us today.
Thank you very much, Karen. Adri, from your side, you know, I know you've got to have a lot to share with us today, but how have you been since our last webinar?
Good morning, everyone. I'm doing very well, thank you. Just a little bit cold, but very excited to have this opportunity to chat to everybody again, and glad to hear that we had such positive feedback from last week.
Oh, we definitely did. We definitely did. Sarah, how are you doing today?
Good morning. I am well on this freezing cold morning. I've had a good week, and I'm really excited to share some of my knowledge and get some of the people motivated out there for what's coming next.
Most definitely. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining us. Thank you to the guys on Facebook, and thank you to the guys that are also joining us right here on Zoom. Do not be afraid to ask a question at any time. We will pose it to the ladies and then give you the best we can in terms of answering it, or show you the resources which you could use for the problem probably that you would show. So thank you. Take a seat back, relax. I hope you have your drink with you because we're about to begin our webinar on being ready to be employed. Very important. So I'm going to shoot right straight to Adri. Adri, this is your field of expertise, yeah? So from your side, Adri, you know, let's go through stuff from what should a person not do.
Okay.
Let's rather start with that. Then after that, we'll probably follow with everything
Okay,
else.
fantastic. Thank you. Okay, so we shortly mentioned this last week, but applying for unsuitable posts. Again, as we said last week, please make sure that you read the criteria that is expected from the client that is being advertised. It's also going to be more positive because you'll get feedback if you are applying for suitable positions. But if you're going ahead and applying for unsuitable positions, you obviously won't get any responses. Something that is very common, and we all make mistakes, especially some of us that's bilingual, but spelling. Guys, there's so many tools out there that can assist you with spelling. I'm not sure if any of you have heard of Grammarly, and then there's your normal tools that you can use on your MS Office. But please check your spelling and your grammar, and later on I'm going to show you some of the mistakes that we actually have seen on CVs. Then obviously something that is very popular is inconsistent formatting. And what I really mean here is you've got an old CV, you've changed jobs, and now you've got a new position that you want to put on your CV, and then all of a sudden you use a different font. Or you can see immediately that this was done very quickly. So please keep the formatting the same, keep it consistent, and it also shows attention to detail. On a positive note, I've seen some really, really good CVs from our chefs out there. They seem to be the ones who are the best at formatting their CVs. It must be their creativity, but just in general, keep an eye out on that. And then something that's really, really common is we forget what is present tense and what is past tense. Now, it takes a little bit of time to actually work through your CV, but what you are doing now, your words and your sentences need to be present tense. And anything that's on your CV prior has to be done in past tense. And then, of course, something that we also see a lot is the duplication of duties. So yes, I have moved from this position to my next position and my duties were similar, but take that extra bit of time. It might be similar, but the expectation from the client or your employer was slightly different. So change that information. No agent and no client wants to see the same thing over and over. And then last but not least, limit your experience to the past decade. We did mention this last week. Let's focus on the last 5 to 10 years. Shorten your CV. You are welcome to put your past experiences down, but you don't need to put your duties down.
I think that's the question I want to ask you. Sorry to cut you there, Adri. There's a question I want to ask you to say, yeah, how long should you go back? I hear you say past decade. That's where we should start, because sometimes, you know, you get a book of a CV because you're trying to mention everything from when you even worked as a teenager.
You know what, it depends on person to person. I mean, we've got chefs out there that has been in the industry for a number of years, and chefs to grow into the position of executive chef has got a lot of positions that they need to fill before they get to that role. So they tend to have CVs that's a lot longer than what somebody in sales, for example, would have. So it's debatable. It depends from client to agency, but generally, whoever is advertising the position will tell you what they are looking for in a CV. In the ad, right at the bottom, it will say, send a summary CV, or it might say, send a detailed CV. But our agency, where I am, I prefer to see the last 5 years. And then during the interview, we will chat and go back. But I think your skills are constantly being updated. So let's rather focus on the most recent.
Thank you very much. You can carry on, Adri.
Okay. Right. Then things that I want you to do. And I want people to remember that agencies get so many applications on one single position. So the first thing that we all ask, it must be an easy to read CV. Can you all see the what to do screen?
Yes. Yes, it's changed.
Okay, right. So make sure that it's easy to read. And I'm not sure if everybody out there knows that, but when you type in caps font, that's actually saying that you are angry, or it shows a bit of laziness because you weren't prepared to go and put capital letters in, or full stops or question marks. So please avoid a CV that's in caps. It's also very difficult to read a document in caps. I'm not sure if any of you have tried it. Caps are there for headlines, but definitely not to write your CV with. Sorry, my computer has now decided to say something. And then be careful of inconsistencies. If you put your CV together, we are generally asking you to give us a start date and end date. Make sure that those things are running in sequence. So work through your CV. Your most recent or current experience will be on the top, and then you work your way back. If there's any gaps in your CV, make sure that you cover that information. And again, make sure that you don't, say, for example, copy and paste. Again, going back to what I said earlier on, you might have had the same duties. Don't copy and paste the same information. Put a bit of effort in and make some changes. Any questions at this stage?
Yes, so we have got a question from Kutlwano Ndebele. I'm going to allow Kutlwano to speak to ask the question. Kutlwano, you're on.
Hi. Good morning.
Hi, Kutlwano.
Hello?
Kutlwano, are you able to speak?
Yes.
Yes.
Good morning.
I don't need to ask a question. I'm new to this app, so maybe I pressed something.
Oh, okay. Okay. No, you raised your hand. Okay, no, that's fine. Thank you very much, Kutlwano.
Okay.
All right.
Then obviously, and we've also discussed this last week, but people who's going to be interviewing going forward are going to be looking at achievements and results, and specifically what you've been able to achieve during the lockdown. So focus on results that will make your CV stand out. We often see people putting results in that I was the highest jumper at school, or I got first place in a race. Those are great things, but it's not what the client is wanting to see on the CV. So focus on results. How did you get a return on investment in your kitchen? How did you reduce the food cost? What was your achievements on the sales side? So the clients want to see things that's achievable. And then make sure that your education is relevant. We often see that people put down courses that they've done, and then it says incomplete. If you haven't completed the course, then rather don't put it down because you haven't completed it. And make sure that you put things down that is relevant to what the position is that you're going to apply for. I know there's some people out there that loves to study and they're doing things that's not relevant to what they're currently doing, and they're putting all these listed qualifications down. For an example, they've learned to be a nail technician, or they've gone and learned photography. If that is not criteria to what the client or the position is looking for, then don't put it down. It's just going to extend the length of your CV. And then, of course, most importantly, we need to focus on our skills, okay? Our skills need to complement the experience and the criteria that is requested through the client's requirements. Focus on your roles and responsibilities. People, when they look at CV, the first thing that we want to know is sort of, what was your position in the department? Who did you report to? How many staff did you manage? So that we can see at what level your responsibilities and duties were. And then, of course, just make sure that your experience is there, that when you page through the CV, you can immediately see this person's CV is standing out, and that's why we as agencies would like to interview. Any questions?
Tell me, what happens when somebody has no experience? What would you advise them to write there to impress you when you've written probably, obviously, maybe I need a year's experience or something?
That's actually a very good question, Lebo. Look, it is difficult, and unfortunately, if you are going to go through, and I'm going to be honest with the people out there, most of your clients that use recruitment agencies, there's a cost to the client, not to the candidate, but to the client. And the client very seldom is going to ask us personally for CVs with no experience. But if a candidate wants to send a CV directly to the employer, I think there your focus would be in your introduction letter, because you have nothing else to put on your CV other than your educational skills. But your work skills won't be there. You could sell your soft skills, and soft skills are things that is attention to detail. I'm committed. Again, you're going to have to prove that during the interview, but sell yourself in your introduction. If I may, just so out of experience, when I matriculated in a number of years back, I knew that I wanted to work for Southern Sun. At those days, it was called Southern Sun. And I did my research on all the hotels. I knew which area I wanted to work in, but I had absolutely no experience. So I wrote a letter to every single hotel that I identified that I could possibly work for. And I took the skills, and in those days, I had my matric and I was able to speak English and Afrikaans. And I knew that I wanted to be in hospitality. So my introduction letter was, I've done research, you're the fastest growing hotel group in the country. I'm desperate to work in the hospitality industry. I can help you by speaking English and Afrikaans to your customers, and I'm available to start employment immediately.
I think I like that. I like that. So does that help with the interview process? I think, can I just jump quickly to Sarah
Yes.
with that point? Because Sarah talks about the importance of, making sure that when you're going for the interview, you have a plan. Sarah, what are you talking about? The same type of plan Adri is talking about?
Yeah, it is. I mean, if you're going to go for an interview, whether you've got experience or not, it really does impress the company. And if you're sitting there and you've actually done some research about the company, you understand what they are about, and you are bringing a proposal as such, if you want to call it that, of what you have to offer on your skill level, whether you have experience or not. For somebody who maybe approached me with no experience and has done research on my company and said, well, this is where I see you at, this is where I could maybe take you to, and this is the value I can offer, I'm definitely going to take a person like that seriously.
Fantastic. I've got a question, guys. I don't know who will take this one. It's from Samuel Papo. He says, I wanted to know if you got experience from school and now in training, what do you write on your CV? Since I'm training in professional cookery but haven't completed it yet, what do you write on the CV? Do we write our school's hospitality management, then our training side, or do we write them both?
Adri,
Yes,
I don't know if you want to grab that. For me, I would say that
I think schooling has changed a lot, and we've got subjects that is related to the industry. So in a case like that, I would make it clear that my one subject is, for example, consumer studies or hospitality studies, and then list the things that you have learned during your lessons. So if you've done, for example, consumer studies, we were taught how to make a milk tart, or we were taught how to sew, so use the things that you actually did. And that's why at school level now, they give you a lot of practical opportunities that you can go back and put on your CV. So yes, you definitely can put that information down.
From your side, tell me, can you see if someone that you guys have hired and now they are in training first day, that this individual either lied on their CV or is really not fit for the job. Can you guys still see at that point? Because maybe I can pass the interview by saying the right things, but now first training, first day, and probably things are not coming together.
Yeah, but I think that does come in. I mean, and Adri would know this, when you're looking at CVs, you're looking for that, real detail. You're looking for backup. So, going to Samuel, saying that, Samuel needs to have some backup. And I would encourage people who are currently in training and that you're writing these is to get some backup that says you're registered at the school. So you might not be complete. But what, I guess what you're looking for when you're interviewing is that there's proof of whatever the person is saying. And I know some chefs would ask an applicant to actually do a live cooking test so that we can check the skill. So, maybe if it's so you would do something like that so you're able to see it. So really checking that beforehand. If we get to the point and you've employed and the person can't do anything, well, then one has to look at your recruitment processes, not the person who's applied only. And also, things like trust come in. If someone's going to lie and they start on the first day and they can't do anything, you've got a bigger problem than just no skill.
Thank you very much, Karen. We've got Joyce Sibanda who's raised a hand. Joyce, I'm going to allow you to talk. What is your question, Joyce? Hello, Joyce. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hi, Joyce.
Morning, how are you?
Very, very well. Thank you for joining us, Joyce. What is your question?
Yes, my question is that what happens if the advert requires someone with grade 12, only to find out that individual only have an entry? Does the individual applies or not?
Okay. Adri?
Joyce, no. If a client, there's obviously reasons why clients are asking for specific experience and qualifications. So if they say that you must have a matric, then you have to have a matric if you apply for that position. There is positions out there that will say that you can have an NQF level 3 or level 4. It's just important that you read the ad, and if the instruction on the ad says you must have that skill, then unfortunately you do have to have it.
Thank you very much. Audrey, let's move on to mistakes people make.
Okay. So I can honestly tell you now that none of these mistakes have been done through the chefs that supplied with BFast placements. But if you guys all have a look there, and this is really, I don't know if it's autocorrect or they didn't read their CV prior to sending it out, but these are some of the interesting things that we've seen for leaving. I'm extremely loyal to my current employer. Feel free to ring my office if you're interested in my CV. Okay, so if you are loyal, why would you ask anybody to call your current office? So little mistakes like that. And I have technical skills that will simply take your breath away.
I like that one. I love that one.
Okay.
Sarah, isn't that branding, Sarah? Just to Sarah, isn't that branding? Because you said, obviously, in one of your things to say that when you are obviously going for the interview, you must sell yourself, you know?
Absolutely.
So isn't this a personal strategy?
Look, there's quite a difference between selling yourself and overselling yourself, and the words and the manner in which you do it. And I had such a laugh now. Like, you're gonna take my breath away? Okay. Like, no.
All right.
So there's a fine line. It's how you present yourself. There's so many ways to convey the same message, but it's just, think of it, if you're sitting in the chair, what would you want to see?
Sure. Yeah, I'd really want to see this individual take my breath away. Audrey?
Okay, another one. I would like to assure you that I'm a hardly working person.
What? Oh, that's autocorrect, eh?
Autocorrect.
that's
So be
bad
very,
grammar.
very careful.
Because if you hire this person, if you hire this
they're gonna be-
person, yeah, and they don't work, you cannot really punish them.
No, no,
No, but they're not going to make the interview
not at
either.
all.
Yes.
Okay.
It's what Adri said, and I'm going to re-emphasize that it's the attention to detail that is so important.
Definitely.
One of my favorites is, this is my CV, and I need you guys to have a look at the way they are introducing themselves, but also the spelling. And this is my CV. I'm interested in any job opening you have available. So meaning you guys have, if you could please send vacation that you received the email.